Hey guys, it's Stephanie Noel from ModCityMag.com. I hope everybody is doing well. Thank you so much for watching these videos. About a year ago I made a series of videos called the Music Business Bootcamp 101, and you guys have watched it and commented, and I've just really enjoyed reading the comments and getting back to as many of you as I could. And a couple of you had posted some topic suggestions on future videos, and it's taken me about a year. But I do have two new videos that I'm going to record today for you guys. The first one is going to be on how to build a tour and how to tour smart. A couple of you had commented about touring and how do you start to tour and where do you even begin. And so I thought I would just, again, share a little bit of my experience as well as what I've heard from friends who are musicians and kind of go from there. Again, I want to preface that I am not a music business expert, and these things are purely just suggestions and things that I have seen have worked for other musicians. Again, this video is also created for those of you who are just starting out and who are independent artists rather than those of you who are signed and have something going. This isn't the video for you. But the first thing I want to start off with is if you are a brand new band, start local. That's the first tip I would give you guys and suggestion. So many of my musician friends just dive into these big national tours, which are fun, and if you have the income and the time, go for it, have fun with it. But for those of you who are doing music part-time right now, don't spend your money trying to go to every state in the U.S. and play every big city. What I would suggest, and I learned this in a music seminar a few years ago myself, is that you should always start where you are, no matter what city that is, and build out. Go 30-mile radius, go a 60-mile radius, then go 90, but work all those venues. I wish I had a map or something that I could show you guys this on, but I'm located in Chicago, so we'll use that as an example. Chicago is a big city. It's not a huge music city, but it does have a fair amount of venues, and it's very overwhelming for my musician friends here in the area to try and book shows in Chicago because there's just so many artists. But you still want to start where you're at and build your way out. You want to create a buzz in the city that you are so that people will start hearing you in further cities. So, say I live in Chicago. Other big local cities could be Rockford. You could even drive up to Milwaukee. Things that you can drive to is where you want to start. Play your local area and play it as much as you can. I think getting the buzz out about your band is the biggest thing. Word of mouth. We'll go into this a little bit more in my other video that I'm going to talk about promoting yourself and building your brand. Is that you want to just get your name out there, and whether it's playing your cousin's wedding or your best friend's Christmas party, there are tons of different opportunities in doing that. When it does come time to, if you're doing a summer tour, you want to network as much as possible with different venues and promoters. While I'm not a musician and I haven't had to promote my own bands, I again have worked with a few bands doing some booking, and that's the biggest thing, is getting to the key person in the venue. You can call for days, you can email the endless info at venue.com and get no response, but you need to find that key person at the venue and build that relationship. One simple suggestion, again, this is kind of looking at your local area and your town, is going to those venues for other shows. Going to see a friend play, going to just see random bands play there. That night that you're there and you're not playing, try to find out who the booker is of the venue. Try to find out who the promoter is and just get to know them. Don't shove your CD down their throat the first time you're there, but just say, hey, I have a band, just curious, how does the booking process work? Then come up again. The more they see your face there, you're going to build that relationship. And who wouldn't want to do something for a friend over a total stranger? So that's my biggest thing in every element of the entertainment industry is definitely networking. Another tip I would kind of give you guys is, if you do decide to start traveling a little bit more, is making it gas efficient. That's the #1 reason why I've seen friends really struggle through national tours is the gas. Gas money is so expensive. Gas prices are fluctuating every single day. It's near impossible to even try and figure out and budget for that kind of thing. So a goal would be, if you're working a 9 to 5 job during Monday through Friday, is to set aside your weekends for touring. And by doing that, just driving 3 to 4 hours rather than driving 5 to 6, trying to get to that next big city. Just there are tons of venues out there, and I can guarantee you can find 20 plus different venues within your 4 to 5 hour radius around your city. So again, what I would suggest first of all is to take a map, find where you're located, and draw out 30 miles on each side and find every venue within that radius. Then go to 60 miles and then go to 90, and then kind of build your way out and just play every single venue you can. Those are kind of some basics on finding the right venues. Definitely another thing that I have actually done when I was working with a few bands was I would go to other local bands' websites and see where they're playing. Go to their Facebook page and look at the venues they're playing and contact them rather than just Google searching and hoping you find good venues. I've gotten but I've gotten some bands, not in trouble, but in some really weird venues because I didn't do my research. Do your research on where you're playing. You don't want to play in some shady place where there's going to be one guy who's kind of crazy sitting at the bar listening to you. You want to find where there's people who want to be there. Again, you're going to hit or miss always, but the more research you do into where you're going to play, the better. And quality is better than quantity. Look at venues that are going to treat you well and that you're going to have a good experience. I'd rather you have 3 great quality shows than 13 awful shows that nobody came to and you didn't make any money off of. The second thing I wanted to mention is house shows. Many of you find house shows are a great opportunity to just play a few different shows, get your name out there, and I totally support and love those. For those of you who don't know what house shows are they are a great opportunity for you to just go and play at a friend's house and have them invite some friends over. Usually it's acoustic. Sometimes if somebody has a huge house and a great setup, you are able to do that electronically. But what I would suggest is that you go ahead and create a theme or build it around another popular topic for your, or not topic, but a party or some kind of holiday that's already happening. I know a lot of house shows of friends, musician friends who have just tanked because they're just like, hey, I'm going to play a few songs at your house, invite some friends over, and then nobody wants to come because they first of all don't know who you are. And then sometimes they'll charge a cover and you're like, well, I'm not going to pay $10 to go to my friend's house to see a band that I don't even know. So, suggestions. Holiday parties are great opportunities. Granted, we just missed Christmas and New Year's, but there's still some other holidays coming up. You could do a Valentine's Day theme or a St. Patrick's theme, like a pub theme. Tons of opportunities to do that. And make it fun and make it a party, and then you be the supplement. Don't ever charge a cover for house shows, guys. Nobody will come. Work your tip jar and sell CDs. That's the #1 way. While you're at those house parties, on top of making sure that you have enough CDs to sell and merch, is get to know the people there. So many house shows I've been to, the bands are there and they think they're all cool. They'll go and drink and not talk to anybody there. And that's not a band that I want to connect with or invest money in or get to know. So while you're at these house shows, be a people person. Go up to people and talk and listen to them. Build those relationships, because those are going to be future fans and will come to your local shows. That's the other thing, is these house shows really do help in building a following in your local area. Along with that, if you do start, and then maybe this is another video in the future, is building a national tour, but again, I just really wanted to get the basics of touring and doing shows in your area and kind of local or regional rather than national, is if you do end up kind of starting to travel a little more, house shows can be another great way to play different cities that you've not been in, but you know people in. all of us kind of have a networking circle that we kind of forget about. There's people we met in college, there's people who are family friends of our parents who live, we probably, each of us know at least somebody in at least 13 different states. Again, that number 13 keeps coming into play today, but write a list of every single state and then write people that you know in each of those states and reach out to them, ask if they'll host this house show, because again, when you start playing other states and other cities where nobody knows you, number one mistake is going there assuming that people are going to be there and they're not. You have to promote it. You have to make those personal invites, get people there. Then hopefully there will be some extra other people there who you may be able to expose, but you need to start with who you know. Kind of transitioning and going into living on the road while touring would be just being smart while on tour. And if you do start traveling and doing full weekends away, or a full week, or even a full summer out on the road, you need to tour smart. And one of those things is packing and making your own food. I don't cook, and I can imagine most of you band guys and ladies out there, that's not something that's high on your priority list, but you can save so much money rather than eating out every day. Even if it's McDonald's, $3-4 each of you adds up, and don't underestimate the power of ramen noodles. I know two of my friends in two separate bands recently did full cross-country tours, and they brought like a little camp stove and get mac and cheese and SpaghettiOs and things like that you can make on a little camp stove, because ultimately you can make more for more people. And it's not the best of stuff, but really compared to what you're eating at fast food, it's not much better or worse. So save some money there. Don't eat out. Make the most of venue food. Many venues will give bands tour or food vouchers or drink vouchers. Along with the not spending out a lot is don't waste your money on booze, guys. That's the biggest money sucker, is you all go to your venues and you end up getting drinks, and that's just not a place to put your money at this time in your career. You can get as much booze and alcohol later on in life when you're making the big money, but for now, if they give you a round in the house or something, take advantage of that, but don't waste your money on that. Like I mentioned, is when you're starting to go out to other cities and states, build those relationships with family and friends, stay with them, don't stay in hotels. I'm not one personally who likes to schmooze or like take advantage of people, but if you have people in a city, call them up and just say, hey, in exchange for us staying at your house, can we play a few songs for some friends or family? Or something like that. Definitely give something in exchange. Give them a CD, a t-shirt. You don't have to pay them, but offer something in exchange for your staying there. And be respectful, too. I know when I was growing up, actually, my family hosted a few bands when they'd be coming through, and the number one thing would be, them leaving towels on our floor or not cleaning up after themselves, and then my mom didn't want to host them again. So be smart about that, and be respectful, and treat it like, it's your own home. Hopefully, actually treat it better than your own home, because I know some of you won't treat it well. Join a Holiday Inn club or some sort of hotel brand that's a quality hotel but not super expensive. Holiday Inn Express has a great membership program where if you get on their email list and you use your card every once in a while, you'll get some points, and you can actually then not have to spend as much money. So that's something that you can do if you do need to stay in a hotel. Get one room. Another thing is bring a few sleeping bags or a cot or something. And many hotels actually do have cots if you go ahead and call and request that ahead of time. Ask for some extra pillows, but try not to get 3 or 4 rooms. This is not a time to be living in comfort again. I know many of you will sleep in vans. If you're comfortable with that, that's cool too. Just save your money where you can. Okay, that was a lot of information in I don't even know how many minute time, but I hope some of those things are just some things to think about when you guys are starting to look at touring. If you have more specific questions, please comment below or message us, and I would be happy to answer any of those questions that you have. Again, just a key brief overview, I guess, on what we went over today is to don't book a big national tour too soon. Work locally. Start at your local venues, work out 30-mile radius, 60-mile radius, 90, 120, so on and so forth. Then you can start going national. Build the buzz and work it. You want to create a good reputation, so network and make friends with those who are in venues or promoters, and be respectful. Do not be jerks. Make things gas efficient. I'm just trying to go down the list of things. House shows, awesome opportunities. Create themes. Make them fun. You don't need to be the center of the house show. You need to just be there, and that will help get your name out there. And then, of course, living on the road, don't spend lots of money. Save money on food. Do not buy lots of booze, cigarettes, whatever else you may be buying that you don't need. And just, again, cut costs as much as possible, because this is a risk that you're taking in doing this career, and you don't want to waste your money on it. So I hope that was a little helpful. Again, I apologize. It was kind of a very brief, fast overview, but if you have questions, let me know. Thank you so much. Bye.